Okay, so I had this dream and I did not record it right away, but I feel like God is telling me to record it. I just woke up like maybe 15 minutes ago. So anyway, in this dream, there was some kind of campus. It looked like a college campus or something. I'm not sure. But I had to take a test in some class, and like I wasn't normally in that class at all, but I had to go there to take a test. And I had heard about that professor. He had a reputation of being very, very mean and like really nasty, evil mean, crazy. And this lady was his assistant, this African American looking lady. She was his, and she wore glasses, thick bone. And she was his assistant, and I ran into her before class. And I was like, yeah, I heard about this guy. He's really mean. He's horrible. And she was like, oh, he's a good teacher. And she was like singing his praises. And I was looking at her like, what? Like everybody says how mean and nasty and horrible he is. And she was like, you just have to do everything he says. And he's wonderful. And as she was talking to me, I was seeing visions of her as she worked for him. And she was coming to his office. And he was really nasty towards her as well. But she was all smiley and doing everything that he said to do and studying real hard so she would get straight A's, and because she was also in his class. And she was just going out of her way to please this man. And I was seeing visions of that as she was talking. Like I saw her making sure that his garbage was emptied, when she was checking his office. She was making sure, I saw her running around making sure that all her classwork was done, and she was always on time, or actually early to his class. Like it showed her like she had some kind of locker. Yeah, she had a locker, and she was hurrying up to get everything to be ready for his class. But as she was doing that, it was showing that she was neglecting her other classes just to be able to please this professor. Like say she was late for her other classes, or she left her other classes early so she can be on time for his class, or things like that. She was neglecting her other classes and not studying as hard for her other classes and all of that to make sure that she was pleasing to this man, to this professor. So I was looking at that and I was like, man, that's sad. That's really sad. She got to do all that. So, and she was like, oh, he's fine. You just got to make sure you're on time. You got to make sure you do everything. And he wasn't even studying her. He was so evil and mean, but because it was showing him, like when she would talk to him, I'm just still in the dream looking at it. He would sit at his desk and he would just look in front of him at what he was looking at on his desk. And he wouldn't even look at her. He was like, he would say something to her all like a grouch, like, go and give me some papers and whatever. And he wouldn't even look at her when he talked to her. And she was all smiley, like, okay. It was so crazy. So I was just looking at that like, this girl is nuts, man. You got to do all of that to please this man. So anyway, I had to take a test in his class. So I went to his class to take the test. And I got there on time, but I had to use the bathroom. And I said, oh, man, I got to use the bathroom. So I'm going to end up being late because I got in the class and everything on time. But somebody was sitting at my desk, and he had assigned desks for everybody. And my desk was number 75. And I didn't even realize this when I woke up. But I was born in 75. So I don't know if that has to do with anything. That is interesting. It was a number in a circle. A tiny, tiny number in a circle on the desk. On the right side of the decks. This guy that was sitting in my seat, and he had looked like he had a surfboard with him. And I said, dude, that's my seat. And he was like, you can sit somewhere else. And I said, no, we have assigned seats. I have to sit here. And class didn't start yet. We had 1 minute. We had 1 minute before this class started. And the professor was in front of the class writing something on the board. And I said, dude, I need my seat. And so he was getting up to move the seat. And I said, I got to run to the bathroom while he's moving the seat. And I said, I hope I come back on time. The dream ended as I was leaving the classroom to hurry up and go use the bathroom. But I had a knowing, too, that whatever this class was, this test that I had to take, I was going to ace it because I was real smart. and I knew that I was gonna get straight A's on it. But I was thinking in the dream that, I hope he don't lock me out the classroom because I might be late because I got to run to the bathroom. Because, in this world, that actually happened to me in real life. I had a professor. He was crazy. And if you left his class in the middle of class to go to the bathroom, he would lock you out the class. I never saw anything like it. It was so... I was like, what kind of professor is this? And I forgot a very important part. God help me, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. This was about the RFID chip, Mark of the Beast. I can't believe that I almost forgot to say that. In the dream, this woman, as she was talking to me and everything, I knew that when the RFID chip, and in the dream it said RFID chip, Mark of the Beast, when it was presented to her, she was going to take it. Because she was doing everything to please this professor, and she wasn't thinking about her relationship with God. She was so consumed with pleasing the man. How could I forget that? That's what this dream was about. That's why God kept telling me to record it. Because I didn't realize that when I first woke up. And I knew in the dream there's no way I was taking it. But the dream was showing me that the mentality of the people who was taking it is because they want to please the man. They want to please the man. And I wasn't like that. I was like, I'm not studying this man. I was like, I'm just going to get in here and take this test and be done with him. I'm not going to go out of my way trying to please some mean, evil guy like that. And he wasn't even studying her. And I knew that this guy, he had already taken the RFID chip, Mark of the Beast. And that's what the dream said. Now, I had a video that YouTube took down. So unfortunately, I can't go into discussing that too much. But all I want to say is I introduced another Mark of the Beast, RFID chip that most of you all are not familiar with, called nanobots. Tiny programmable language that cannot be seen with the naked eye. And that's all I can say about that, unfortunately, because of what happened. Understand there's many different types of RFID chips, and the Kingdom of Darkness now has one that is so tiny that it can go in, it's so tiny you can't even see it. So anyway, yeah, I knew she was going to take it because she wanted to please the man, and that's the mentality of these people. So look, I'm telling you guys right now, you cannot trust anybody that you listen to, whether they're on YouTube or anywhere else, until you find out where they stand on these issues. Find out where they stand on certain issues. And if they stand on the wrong side of it, you need to get away from them. Unsub them. Get out of the churches. Do whatever you need to do. Get away from these people. I'm telling you right now. Because they are stabbing Christians in the back. This girl, she was like that. She would do anything to please this man. She would turn me in. She would do whatever. And it's happening right now. So I'm telling you guys before it's too late. And I pray that this reaches somebody. I'm really shocked. I thank God he told me to record this. Anyway, God bless you all. Bye.